£73 million. Manchester United shelled out that steep sum for Jadon Sancho 5 summers ago. Right now, in August 2026, he trains on turf in Greater Manchester, belonging to a club sitting in the 10th tier of English football. Put those two facts side by side. How does a winger who lifted a European trophy in May end up running drills with amateurs by August? That's the central question the pundits keep dancing around. Not here. Because the internet lost its mind over this. A brief clip surfaced. Sancho, on a modest non-league ground called Flixton FC, spoke to a camera, saying, "You've got a nice layout here. It's my first time around this area, and it's the first time I've seen a nice pitch apart from United and City." Within hours, half of social media decided he was signing for a 10th tier side, a World Cup level talent, dropping 9 divisions. People believed it. They were dead wrong. On August 2nd, Flixton FC released an official statement. No trial. No transfer talks. Nothing. He merely utilized their facilities for private fitness sessions while waiting for a proper club. But the very fact that anyone believed it? That reveals everything about the sheer depth of this player's dramatic fall. July 2021. Manchester United fended off half of Europe to sign a 21-year-old from Borussia Dortmund. The acquisition fee was sky high, breaking the bank. He ruled as the golden boy of English football, the designated heir to the Old Trafford wing. Fans queued for his shirt. And his wages? Reportedly north of 300 grand a week. 300 grand. Just to play football. Everyone believed United had secured their future for the next decade. How many goals did he actually score for them across all competitions? 12. A mere 12 goals in 83 total appearances. For that price. For that salary. That number explains more about the last 5 years than any headline ever could. So how did the Golden Boy turn into a high-wage free agent struggling to secure his ideal move? Subscribe to this channel, because stories like this happen in plain sight, and once you train your eyes to spot the pattern, you can't unsee it. September 2023. Erik ten Hag omitted Sancho from a matchday squad, suggesting training standards fell short. Most players swallow it. Sancho didn't. He bypassed protocols, launched a social media counterstrike, refusing to allow people saying things that is completely untrue, and explicitly labeled himself a scapegoat, a prominent player openly defying his manager, in writing, for the world to see. The club froze him out entirely, banished from the first team, training completely alone. A 23-year-old who cost United a fortune, exiled from the building. That single post lit a fuse that reshaped his entire career. Yet he didn't vanish. That's the bizarre twist. In January 2024, he returned to Dortmund on loan, helping drag them to the Champions League final. The following season, another loan, this time to Chelsea. And in that Conference League final against Real Betis, with the trophy on the line, Sancho scored. Chelsea won 4-1. He lifted silverware. A player deemed surplus at United was busy winning European finals somewhere else. The natural ability never left him. So what on earth was going on? By September 2025, Sancho packed his bags again, this time to Aston Villa on loan. Villa agreed to cover 80% of his wages. 80. United still paid the remaining 20% just to get him out of the building. A club that spent £73 million to sign him was now subsidizing a rival to take him away. That's not a transfer strategy. That's damage control. And at Villa? Sancho played 23 games, mostly fighting for a starting spot he never nailed down. But on May 20th, 2026, in Istanbul, Sancho added another medal to the pile, the Europa League. 2 European trophies and 3 European finals with 3 different clubs, none of them the one that owns his contract. If this story's hitting home, take a brief moment to hit like. It genuinely pushes the video toward more people who find themselves just as baffled by this ongoing saga as you are. On June 30th, 2026, Manchester United officially severed all ties with Jadon Sancho, letting his contract expire. Free agent. Gone. The club released him alongside other top earners like Casemiro and Tyrell Malacia. No incoming transfer fee. No grand farewell. The high-profile winger walked out of the door for nothing. United's new hierarchy decided a clean break was the only way to purge the toxic energy from the squad. And this is the trap he walked into. That 300 grand a week wage that felt like a dream in 2021? It became a cage. Because what elite club signs a 26-year-old free agent and hands him top-tier money when his last permanent goal for a Premier League side feels like ancient history? Villa had him for a full season. Villa won a European trophy with him in the squad. and Villa still said no to a permanent deal. That refusal speaks louder than any transfer rumor. Summer 2026. No preseason, no club, no training ground. A professional athlete has to keep his body sharp somehow, or the fitness that took years to build starts leaking away by the week. Where does a released star go when the phone stops ringing? To a 10th-tier ground in Greater Manchester. Flixton FC play in the Northwest Counties League Division 1 North, the 10th tier. Miles beneath the Premier League. But in 2025, an American financier named Christopher Garcia bought the club and committed up to £7 million to rebuild it. £7 million at the 10th tier. And their assistant manager? Rodri Giggs. Yes, the brother of the Manchester United legend. Small world, right? So Sancho didn't stumble onto some muddy amateur field. He found a local ground with a pitch good enough that he praised it as the first nice surface he'd seen outside of United and City. That compliment wasn't charity. It was a professional recognizing real quality where nobody expected it. And the club owner? He did something you rarely see. When the online abuse started rolling in, Garcia stepped up to defend a man who doesn't even play for him. He called Sancho nothing but professional, humble, and generous with his time, pointing to the fact that Sancho took photos with young local supporters. A 10th-tier owner shielding a former superstar from the very internet that built him up and tore him down. When did the amateurs become the adults in the room? This isn't a feel-good story. It's a warning. Because the whispers now link Sancho to Al Rayyan, a club in Qatar, not the Champions League, not a Premier League rescue. A move thousands of miles from the elite European stage he was built for. Nothing is signed. Nothing is confirmed. But the very fact that this is the conversation for a 26-year-old with his gifts tells you where his stock has crashed. 26. That's the age most wingers hit their very peak. Messi, Ronaldo, every great you can name was untouchable at 26. Sancho is training solo at the 10th tier, hoping to stay fit enough for whoever calls. The talent that terrified defenders in Germany didn't vanish. So what actually broke here? It was never his feet. It was everything around them. A transfer fee so heavy it warped every expectation. A wage so high it priced him out of a fair second chance. A public clash with a manager that turned a golden boy into a cautionary tale overnight. And a system that would rather pay a rival 80% of his salary than find a way to use him. He kept winning trophies across multiple loan spells, and it still wasn't enough to save his standing at the club that paid the most for him. That's the scary truth hiding behind a viral clip about a nice playing surface. Not that a star trained at an amateur ground, but that modern football can take the most gifted young player in the country, spend a fortune on him, watch him win European finals on loan, and still spit him out at 26 with nowhere obvious to go. The money didn't protect him. The trophies didn't protect him. A 10th-tier club owner protected him, and that should stop every football fan cold. So watch what happens next to Jadon Sancho. Not because of the goals, because his story is the clearest proof yet of how quickly this sport discards the very talent it once worshipped. If this saga hit you the way it hit me, like this video and subscribe, because the next chapter of this collapse is coming, and you're going to want to see how it ends.